Hello guys, and welcome back to Retroactivemart. Today we are going to look at five toy lines that adults love from the 80s. And these toy lines are more geared towards adults, like with the situations and stuff with the cartoon or whatever was more sort of adultish and stuff like that. So we're going to look at five 1980 toy lines that are still loved by adults today. So let's get back into my collection room here. As you can see, there it is. And let's talk about this today on Retroactivemart. Let's go, guys. Here we go.
Redefined adrenaline, retro rewind, nostalgic vibes. Toys we got five, plastic, gold, buried deep. Hit the jackpot, monsters, robots, dinosaurs, all we ever sought.
Alright, so here we go. We are ready to talk about five toy lines that are loved by adults today, which I think is the case for these five toys that I'm gonna show you and share. And we all have those toys that we loved as kids that bring us back to the 80s, and we're just gonna talk about some today. And this video is just a nostalgic trip back in time to explore the 80s toy world. So here we go. I'll set you down here, and here are the ones that we're going to talk about. There they are. So the first one we're going to talk about here are these guys. Who remembers the cartoon Sectars, Warriors of Symbion? Sectars was all about these humanoid characters that were humanoid characters mixed with insects. So each character had a different insect that they would ride on, and that would be their like warrior type ride, or whatever you wanted to call it. It'd be their battle, like, let's say their battle cat, if you will, like with He-Man is to Battle Cat. That would be Sectors with their insect as Battle Cat. So they'd have all kinds of little ride-on insects that they would ride on and go to battle, and these were called Sectors. So they made a bunch of different figures, and the cartoon line itself did not last for very long. They only made, I think, 8 episodes and quit after that because, frankly, a lot of kids were quite scared of this toy line and scared of the characters. And when they made the toys, they didn't sell very well because no kids wanted to buy it. So I think that's a main reason why a lot of adults gravitate towards this toy line, is because it's more adultish. As you can tell with these figures, there was nothing quite like it out then in the 80s, and it scared a lot of the kids. So they didn't make very many cartoons, and the toy line sort of faltered, sort of flopped. But these are the figures they put out. They're big, giant ones, and you could get like insects that would you slide them on to your hand almost like a glove and crawl around with them on a little harness. So they were pretty cool, pretty intricate toy line, but they never caught on very much because the kids were scared of them. But so that's number one of the toy lines that adults love nowadays, and I believe that would fit perfectly with this video because they look more geared to adults. Like I said, scared a lot of kids. So that's number one, Insectars. All right, let's go to number two now, which is these small little figures. This is from Dino Riders. Another series that they did not make very much of. I think it started off as just with VHS tapes. They did a couple cartoons on VHS, and then it made its way to TV for a little bit. But again, it's more adultish stories or whatever you want to call it. And they made little figures like this that were pretty detailed. Their legs bent like that, and they rode on top of dinosaurs. If I can find some pictures or a toy video or whatever of these toys, I'll put it up here and show you what they look like. But I just have these figures. I believe this guy's name is Orion, and he was a dino rider, had his own dinosaur. Just have the figure. And then this one is, I think his name is Turret. And they made little figures, all kinds of play sets, dinosaurs. It was quite an amazing toy line where you could put these guys on dinos and just ride them around. Hence the name Dino Riders. Huh. So yeah, that was a cool, another short-lived cartoon, but they made a bunch of toys. And adults seem to really love this toy line as well. A lot of adult collectors out there collecting these toys. And let's move on to this guy. Now we go to the next one, which is Beast Wars. Or were they called Beast Wars? I think so. Beast Wars or Beast Animals. I forget the exact. I think it was Beast Wars. Battle Beasts. That's it. Jeez, brain fart here. Sorry, guys. Battle Beasts. I always get these guys mixed up with Beast Wars from Transformers, but this is Battle Beasts. So, yes, sorry about that. They put out these in 1987 by Hasbro, and they were just little animals, sometimes humanoid figure type things as well. This one is Iguana, and his name is Icky Iguana. I don't have the weapons. They came with weapons, and I think it came with like a collector card or something like that as well. I could be wrong, but I think so. And these battle beasts were really cool, just little mini figures like this size. Some of them came with little rub spots that would change colors. This one doesn't have a rub spot. It either got rubbed off or it didn't come with it. And then there was just so many of these to collect. They had tons and tons of different variations, different animals. And right now I only have this one guy, but Battle Beasts was another very hot toy line where adults seem to really love and move towards more than kids. And that's true nowadays too, as a lot of adults really love this 80s toy line. There's so many collectors out there that love these toys. And I do too, but they're very hard to come by in my area of Canada. And some of them can be quite expensive. Some complete ones with weapons and all that can, I've seen some sell for like hundreds of dollars even. So yeah, that's Battle Beast that adults really loved. That is number 3 on our list. And then here is number 4. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons that LJN put out in 1984, I believe it says there. Yeah, 1984. And this one is Grimsword was his name. He's a little damaged. He doesn't have his horns. Had red horns attached to the side of his helmet. As you can see, they were cut off and look like they were filed down. just to get flush against the helmet. But anyway, the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons were about the same size as G.I. Joe figures. And if you know at all much about Dungeons and Dragons, there's that video game, or I mean, not video game, board game that was really popular, the card game and all that stuff. And they made toys as well, which again, more adults enjoyed, and the cartoon was more adultish as well. Adult situations and stuff, and adults really love Dungeons and Dragons to this day, and they more go towards this toy line to collect than kids. So he's really cool, very articulate as well. His action moves still good, and they bend and everything just like the G.I. Joe. They might be a little bigger than G.I. Joe's, but they were another cool adult toy line that everybody loves for adults to collect. So there's number 4. And then let's move on to number 5. Final one is the A-Team. And all of you know that was an action show that was really red hot in the 80s with Mr. T. And yeah, Mr. T really made it big after that and had all kinds of spin-offs and everything. And he was really popular for pop culture and all that stuff. And the A-Team toy lines, they made these ones as well. The big size one. That Galoob, I think was Galoob that put out these bigger size figures. This is Howling Mad Murdoch. And yeah, that's the big size. Most of them over time got very loose jointed, just like with the small ones, which I'll show you in a little bit. But they were a big size that had articulation and all kinds of weapons and everything. And of course, the adults are gonna gravitate towards this toy line because of all the guns and weapons and explosions and stuff in the TV show. Was a really hot TV show back in the 80s. So all the adults really loved that show. And the toy line was no different. A lot of adults still collect these and really love them back in the day. And they also made the smaller, again, G.I. Joe size figures. This again is Howling Mad Murdoch in the smaller version that Galoob put out in the 80s. And again, they came with all kinds of weapons and vehicles and helicopters and all that stuff, and guns and weapons and all that. And that's why adults gravitated to this toy line as well, because it was just a cool toy line that was more suited for an adult style. And there you have it. That is number 5. So there are the 5 adult 1980 toy lines that adults love. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And that was just a nostalgic trip back in time to explore the 80s toy world that adults love. So, if you're thinking about collecting toys and think, oh, there's too much childish stuff out there, which is not the case. These ones are more geared for adults, and adults really love these toy lines. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm glad you came along to watch and maybe learned something new with these toy lines. Some of them are pretty obscure, and they didn't make very many of these toys. But yeah, so maybe now you want to check out the cartoons as well. I don't think Battle Beasts have any cartoons. They might, but I'm not exactly sure. but these other guys have cartoons. And if you wanted to have a more in-depth checkout of these, I suggest you check out the TV shows. And maybe if you want to collect more adult style toy lines, these are the ones. A good start right here with these 5. Alright guys, thanks for watching, thumbs up, and I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas and had a great New Year. And we'll be coming out with more videos. I'm going to try to do more shorts. I've been posting more shorts for my channel, and going to get my channel growing and get monetized here. That's my goal for 2025 for this Retroactivemart channel. So, alright guys, bye-bye, and thanks for watching, and remember to stay retro. Thumbs up, and we'll catch you later. Okay, see ya, bye-bye.